Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we've got this old girl joining us. I'm just trying to figure out how to work the four-wheel steering. So I just recently bought this truck, found it on Marketplace, and got a pretty good deal on it. It came with what you see here, the Betty body, and it also came with an orange ARTR body, so that was kind of sweet. But I haven't touched a single thing on this thing other than to put a battery in it and give it a test here. Now the coolest part about this truck, because it's so old school and it's been sitting around for so long, and you'll notice as I just showed you there, four-wheel steering. Check that out, eh? Yeah. Some vintage stuff or what? So, yeah. This is just kind of gonna be another pre-refurb video. We'll kind of go over what this truck is, top to bottom, and maybe discuss plans for it a little bit. So let me pop off the old Betty shell. We'll start by looking at that. You can see the original owner tried to kind of paint it as the box art would be, with the silver and green two-tone. Not quite the right shades, but you know, he was going for it. It turned out pretty cool. It's got some paint bleed and stuff in spots, so I'll probably end up changing that, but yeah, cool nonetheless to have a Betty body in, you know, really good shape that's not all cracked and beat up. Okay, the truck itself, let's just unplug them for now. So yeah, it's got some kind of nifty period correct modifications that I I really like on it. We'll start with suspension, I guess. Obviously you can see she's tall boy, but it has the optional Axial aluminum shock bodies on it, and then I believe these are an Integy part. They're a super soft Integy orange spring, which gives it that very bouncy flouncy feel, because the factory spring rate on these Bettys was extremely stiff. So next, that's kind of a nifty period correct mod that I really like, is it has a TCS triangulation skid. So these were really popular in the day to inboard the Lynx. If you wanted to spend money and have a nice piece, if you were cheap like me, you just modify the stock skids. But it's pretty cool to have this. It's nice and slippery. You can see not too many scratches on it on the Lynx either. Like, the truck hasn't been run a bunch. Even the axle, the pumpkins there on the axles look really good, and drive shafts as well aren't all scraped up. So definitely a low mileage truck. Sorry if my brain's all over the place. I'm just kind of excited about this thing. So yeah, that's the one cool old piece. And then kind of peeking through right here, you can see the other cool piece. This is also made by TCS Crawlers, and that's their old 4-link bracket / servo mount, which in this case, the original owner used it as a servo mount and a 4-link, so converted, got rid of that crappy 3-link, and then had a mount for his rear steering, and put the Axial green link set on it. So, and then it's got matching Futaba S3004 servos, and believe it or not, these bad boys with the 6-volt BEC, which I believe what this old rooster's putting out, these guys are making about 3.5 kg. High torque. The wheels are also kind of a neat period correct piece. These are made by Proline. I don't even really recall what they named these. They might have been called like 8 shooters or something like that. But pretty neat. They're similar to the factory Axial wheels. What else we got here? You can see right there in the middle, it's got a aluminum transmission housing. Not a bad upgrade, because a lot of times the coarse thread screws would strip out in the bottom of these and you'd have trouble with it staying mounted. So Not a bad mod for durability, not a great mod for weight balance. Electronics wise, other than the servos, it does have a Novak rooster in there. I've never had one of these, but I believe they have drag brake, and like I said, I think a 6-volt BEC, could be 5, and only 2S capable though, as I recall. So I just have a little 2S hooked to it right now, which is actually what I used to run my radios. But and then matching that is the Novak 55 turn rebuildable brush motor. This is actually a nice motor. I had this in my very first Ax10, so pretty cool to see that in there. And otherwise, you know, it's a pretty stock truck. Got the weights on the servo there for front bias, and I believe it probably has weights in the wheels as well, but I will know that when I go to dig into it. So yeah, speaking of digging into it, I figured I might as well share my plans with the truck right now. There's that body hole. And I really like its quirky, kind of goofy time period vibe it has going right now, so I'd like to keep that. But I'm not a great fan of the paint job, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this like a military patina paint job to refresh that, and probably try to pick out a tire that's more military-esque kind of style looking. There's nothing wrong with these rock lizards. They're a little flat spotted from sitting, but they're still pretty decent. But I have another Betty that's on rock lizard, so I kind of want to switch the look up from this one. And other than that, I kind of want to keep it how it is. I probably will get rid of the orange springs because A, the thing sits super high and goofy, and B, they will kind of clash with the color once we do the military body and whatnot. So basically that's the plan, is tires, military paint job, lower it down, and just clean it right up so it's nice and mint looking, and that'll be that. I will probably run it here and there gently, not going to be a shelf queen, but also not going to be going out and beating the crap out of it. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Hope you are enjoying looking at these old trucks as I do. So yeah, catch you in the next one. Bye.